The biggest Bitcoin problem we have today, guys, who is moving the Bitcoin price? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, whenever you're watching this video, welcome to the Bitcoin family channel. For the newcomers, my name is Didi, coming to you from the beautiful Thailand, where it's really rainy, hard today, so not walking the beach. In today's video, I have two amazing news items, who's moving the price, and a second surprise news item. Yes, I have four amazing charts, and of course, we have an inspirational quote at the end. Let's quickly jump into the news first. In the news today, I'm gonna answer this question: who is moving all those Bitcoin prices? Is it the whales? Is it the developers? Is it the governments? Is it the macroeconomics? Is it retail? Who is moving this Bitcoin price? Now, to be very clear, in total, we have now 1455 whales that hodl more than 1,000 Bitcoins. So yes, I'm certain they have something to do with moving all the prices. We can see this and track this also on the blockchain. We can see when they are buying shitloads of Bitcoin, the price is moving up. When they start to sell shitloads of Bitcoins, the prices are moving down. Now the question is, who are these whales? Are these people like me, OGs, or influencers, or retail investors, or are these the huge companies? Now, to be clear, if we analyze all the numbers in the last months, then we can see that the OG whales, those wallets that have been around for a very long time, they only made like around 700 million profit in April, May. 700 million profit taken by the OG whales. Now, how much profit do you think that the official whales, like the hedge funds, etc., made in the same period of time? $3.2 billion. So yes, if you want to make 700 million profit or $3.2 billion profit, you need to move the market. So yes, the whales are definitely also responsible for moving that market. But who else? For example, developers. Do they move the market? Yes, of course they move the market. Whenever they come with an upgrade, for example, Taproot, or for example, the Ordinals pulled in $2 billion of liquidity. Just by creating the Ordinals, $2 billion worth of liquidity came into the Bitcoin blockchain, which of course is moving the price. So if we have these massive updates in Bitcoin, Taproot, Ordinals, all of these will move the price as well. And then of course, number three, governments. At the moment, governments do have an influence. They don't have an influence on Bitcoin, but they do have a small influence on the price because of all their policies, their regulations, KYC, AML, making it difficult to buy Bitcoin, making it difficult to sell Bitcoin. All of that influences, of course, the demand for Bitcoin. Because if it becomes difficult for Dutch people to buy Bitcoin, for example, on Bybit, my favorite platform, you can use the link down below to sign up. But if it will become difficult for Dutch people to buy on Bybit, they will buy less Bitcoins. If it is difficult for United States people to access all these decentralized exchanges or Bybit, then there will be less Bitcoin being sold to those people. So the governments have a huge influence. America is switching now. They switched from complete bearish under the Biden administration and Gary Gensler now to complete bullish with Vance and President Trump. So now they will make it simple again for United States people to buy Bitcoin, to own Bitcoin, to hodl Bitcoin. So it becomes more easy, so yes, people will step in and buy more Bitcoins again. So the governments do have influence, not the biggest, but they do have influence through all their policies, because 99% of the people, even in Bitcoin, are still sheeple, still follow the law. So yes, I do think governments also have a little bit of influence, sadly, but true. And then, of course, you have all the macro factors like interest rates and all of that, that also, reduces the appetite for investments when the macroeconomical situation is not positive. When that becomes positive, when there is less wars and all of that stuff, people tend to have more trust in investments, trust, for example, in store of values. But sometimes even when there is a huge war looming, you can see the investors skipping from stocks into gold, or now, for example, the digital gold, Bitcoin. So yes, macroeconomics also play a role. And then of course we have number five. Number five is retail. Retail in the past couple of bull markets has created that last euphoria phase in Bitcoin. That was not institutional investors, that was not government, that was retail stepping in. The greed of retail creating a banana curve into a euphoria, guys. And that is what we miss at the moment. So we have 5 things that is moving the price. I think they're not equal. I think the whales are the biggest players at the moment. So that's also the spot ETFs. That's also all the people holding more than 1,000 Bitcoins. They are the biggest movers. Of course, the miners also are very important. I consider the miners as a whale because they let Bitcoins into the market or not, or they hold a long term. And then when they are willing to sell as a miner, they sell. So they also move the markets. That's a whale in my opinion. Now then we have the developers by doing updates. Then we have the governments through all their policy. Then we have all the macro factors that always play a role in trading, guys. And of course we have retail that still needs to step in. So those 5 are influencing the Bitcoin price. Now, if we want to take the power back to the people, we as the people should buy more Bitcoin. The more Bitcoin retail owns, the more retail moves the price. It's simple as that. The more we allow those centralized entities like BlackRock, like Strategy, your OG hero that I really don't see as an OG because he came late to the game and he's not accepting Bitcoin as Bitcoin is. He is not using Bitcoin the way he should be using. Strategy, that's my honest opinion. But all of these, as the more Bitcoins we sell to them, the more centralized control there will be, the more they have control on the price. If you want to have control on the price, you should start to buy Bitcoin. It's an open asset that everyone in the world can buy. And we now collectively as a world should start buying instead of giving up this freedom tool again to those centralized entities like government, like institutional investments, like hedge funds, like all of the banks, all of those that always want to be in control. The more we let them buy Bitcoin, the less control we have on freedom, but also on the price. Okay, that was the first news item. Let's jump into the second one. The second news item is about Meta. Meta, of course, for Facebook, Instagram. Now, 95% of the shareholders voted against putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet as a reserve strategy. So Meta, Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, they don't want to become part of Bitcoin. They have nothing with Bitcoin. They are probably against Bitcoins. I think Mark is pro-Bitcoin, but at least 95% of the shareholders, they don't want to add Bitcoin to their long-term reserve strategy, which is really strange as it is a US company. I would expect with a US positive president that these large companies would also start to adopt to Bitcoin. That is also why Facebook is going down in popularity and X will probably take over because they are integrating Bitcoin into their reserve, but also probably as a tool to exchange value within the X platform. So I think Elon Musk there is doing the smart thing. I think Mark Zuckerberg is doing the stupid thing, at least their shareholders. He should be convincing them. So for me, it is not really a big news item as Meta has always been against Bitcoin. I can't do Bitcoin promotions on the platform. If you post a post about Bitcoin, it always gets ranked low, etc. So for me, it's not a big surprise. But it would have been better for these huge social media companies that they all start to adopt the Bitcoin standard. But that's my opinion. Let me know your opinion down below. Do you think it's good that they all start to adopt the Bitcoin strategy? But on the other hand, guys, I am happy. I am happy they are not doing it. Because that would also mean that's another centralized entity, huge entity with a lot of buying power, like purchasing power, that would then again start to buy into Bitcoin. So then again, a centralized entity that owns a shitload of Bitcoins, aside of MicroStrategy, the BlackRock, the governments, we don't need that. So I'm pretty happy that the shareholders of Meta said, nah, we don't want Bitcoin. Please, don't take Bitcoin. Leave Bitcoin to the retail people like me, you, and your friends and family. We should be buying Bitcoin, not Facebook, not X, not Strategy, not the governments. We, collectively as the people, should be buying Bitcoin and by that retrieve the power on Bitcoin's freedom, but also on the price back to the people, guys. Now, that was all the news, guys. Let's now quickly jump into the charts to show you what is happening to Bitcoin today. Use my special link down below here to sign up to Bybit and claim your amazing bonus up to $30,000 US. You will receive $30 for just signing up. Use my link down below and click it now. Let's start, guys, with the 4-hour chart over here. My face needs to be a little bit smaller over there, guys. The 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart looks pretty damn nice. We kept support on that green line. Like I said yesterday, we're even pumping a little bit. So we're even pumping now from the 104k to 105k. That's like maybe not considered as a pump to 3k nowadays, but still it's from 104k all the way. We had a wick to 107k almost. So that's a beautiful candle. Creating distance again from the yellow stepping line. We can see that Bollinger Band contracting, which is really good because that will lead into a sideways movement, just like we had over here. This green box is a sideways movement in a very tight Bollinger Band, as you can see, and it can take a little bit. So if we could calculate, for example, over here, from there, let's say till there, that's where it was a sideways movement. And if we would do the same and paste that, for example, over here, just to give you an indication, that could take all the way here till the 9th of June in sideways movements before we break out again. It can also be shorter, of course, but just to tell you how long we went sideways over here, from May 12th all the way to May 19th, so it's a week of sideways, when that Bollinger Band starts to contract. Now that's contracting now, maybe it takes another week before we break out, but at least you're holding support at that 104k level, which is a very important level. Now, if we look at the weekly chart, guys, we can see something very interesting. We can see that the moment we broke that blue line, which is the 50 DEMA, which is amazing, and we should be keeping support on that in this bullish move, like we had support over there. Like here, we broke that line, we went up, we retested it, we went up, we came. When we came below it, that was a little bit bearish. But then again, we found support on the next level, guys. Now, there is a difference between the simple moving average, the moving average, or the DEMA, which means the DEMA provides a greater weight on the most recent observations. So the blue and the orange line, these are DMAs. These have a little bit more weight on the short-term volatility. The green and the red line, these are the normal MAs. They have a little bit of less influence by the short-term volatilities, but the average volatilities of the weekly chart, guys. So that's the difference. They both made a golden cross at the same time. A week difference. The first cross was on over here, guys, on the 1st of January. The other cross was on the 8th of January. So there's a small difference, so just that you'll be educated on that. But again, it's very bullish that the blue line is above the green and the orange is above the red line in history. Now, the question is now, where is this new higher high going to be? You know, we kept track on this already for the beginning of this year till now. I always said higher high, higher low. That is the higher low. Now we need to have a higher high, and I believe that higher high should be somewhere there around 120,000 US dollar, which would be amazing, a good target, guys. Now 160 could be, of course, the higher high all the way at the end of the bull market, but maybe we get a high and a low and then the ultimate high. Let's see how this will play out, guys. I have a couple of more very interesting charts that I want to share with you guys, and that are these over here. Bam. This is the first one. These are the epoch candles. The epoch is 4 years, just to be clear. Every candle is 4 years, so this is a 4-year candle with an open of 5 cents, a high of $32, a low of 1 cent, and a close of $12. Over here, guys, this is the 2012 to 2016 market, of course. Open at $12, high of $42, low of $12, and closing at $600. So we had a 5,146% candle in those 4 years, 2012, 2016. Then we have 2016, 2020. Look, we opened at $600. The high was almost 20K. The low is 465. The close was $8,500. So that's a 4-year beautiful candle. That close is the halving close, to be very clear. So there was a $650 and this was an $8,500 a year close. Amazing. Then over here, we have the 2020, 2024 candle. Open at 8,500, the high was 73K, the low was 8.5K, the close was 64K. Just how beautiful the candle. Yes, this was the largest candle, a little bit shorter, a little bit shorter, a little bit shorter. And this one will also be a little bit shorter, but not as short as it is now. I believe we open at 64K, the high will be 160K, the low will be 49,000, the close that will be in 2028, to be very clear, that will be the close, will in my opinion be around 80, 90K somewhere in 2028. And yes, it doesn't mean we won't be higher. We will be going higher, but there will be, of course, a bear market in 2026, 27, and then 28. We will come up again a little bit and probably be around that 90K, 100K level again before in 2029 we go full-blown bull market into a couple of $100,000 per Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin epoch candles, really interesting chart. Pause the video, analyze it for yourself if you want to understand it a little bit better. Now, this is the halving progress, guys, and the halving progress is showing us where we are now in the halving. And we can see now that we are now 28% after the halving, guys. So if we compare that to the previous bull cycles, when we were last halving, 28% after that over there, we were exactly in that dip before we went into that last run into the ultimate bull market. So we went up after that 28%. In 2017, that is a market that looks like this market a little bit more. We went up massively after we passed the 28%. In 2013, we also went a little bit up after the 28%. So what, for me, the expectation is that after this 28% progress of the halving, that we will go up higher, guys. For me, it will take another one of these white blocks till the end of 2026 over here to see the ultimate bull market top. And again, that top will be around $160,000 for me. Let's see, but that is how I read the charts at the moment. Now, here you can clearly see the same picture, but a little bit more simplified, that yes, at the moment, we are not even close to the bull market top. Because if we compare it to the previous cycles, it took all of this distance to create a bull market top. This whole part, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, it took almost till December in 2017 to create a bull market top. That was over there, December. This one was in November. The next one, I believe, could be in October. So December, 1 month less, November, 1 month less, October. I believe this black line is going to end at the top around October. The top will be around 160,000. If we would go really retard bullish in retail, we could even surpass the 200K. But for me, 160K is the safe play, guys. That were all the charts for today. I hope you really enjoyed those charts, guys. Short term, a lot of volatility, amazing for the traders. I keep repeating it. Long term, same targets. I think short term target, short midterm should be 120K. Then again, a pullback. At the end of the year, I still expect $160,000 as the top in October 2025. End of September, beginning of October, I think the top will be around 160K. You should be dollar cost averaging out towards that top from now towards the top. Keep taking your profits, of course. This is your trading portfolio. Please understand that. Not your hodl portfolio. Your hodl portfolio, you hodl on for dear life. Long term. Pension fund portfolio. Maybe 70% of your Bitcoins is in your hodl portfolio, but the 30% that you're playing around with, you should be selling around the top, buying back around the bottom. If you want to have more education about this, then become a VIP gold member at Didi Bam Bam. We educate you there about all of this stuff, when to exit, when to enter, etc., guys. So that were the charts. Now let's jump into the last part of this video, guys. The inspirational quote for today is a very simple one, but a very important one that many people keep forgetting. Be grateful for what you have and you will be receiving more. If you're not grateful anymore for what you have, you will end up in this vicious negative circle of ending up owning less and less and less because you are not grateful for what you already have. Sometimes we become just too greedy. We want more, more, more. And we forget to be grateful for what we already have. And sometimes what we already have is amazing, just waking up in the morning, realizing you already have this. Realizing, for example, you own more than 99% of the world if you have a standard salary each and every month. If this is a big salary, let's say you earn 5K or 10K per month, you are belonging to 1% of the richest people of the world. Be grateful for this. Wake up in the morning and be grateful. Don't become too greedy, because greed is going to ruin all your future plans. Greed has always been destroying all the people in the world, all the goals, all the dreams. They were all destroyed by greed because people are too greedy. People should stop being greedy and start being way more grateful for what they already have. that they are healthy, that they are living a life, that they have a family, that they are making shitloads of money each and every month for doing their passion. Whatever it is that you should be grateful for, you should be grateful each and every morning for all of those things. Never forget where you came from. Always remember your past, what you did to achieve all your goals. Be grateful you were able to do this. Be grateful you're now here and be able to create projects, whatever it is. Don't be too greedy, because we have enough greed in this world, and greed is killing all of future dreams and plans, because greed has always proven to be the wrong thing to do or to be. Being grateful has been proven to create more of what you already have. So the moment you start to become grateful, that is the moment you will receive more of that beautiful thing in your life, guys. That is the inspirational quote for today. I hope you really enjoyed today's video with the beautiful sound of the rain and the thunder and everything. If you did enjoy the video, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. What do you think about the news? What do you think about the charts? And what do you think about the inspirational quote and being grateful? Thank you for watching. I wish you an amazing Tuesday. I probably won't be making a video tomorrow on Wednesday, but I will be back Thursday, and maybe we'll do a live tomorrow if I have the time. Very busy days ahead, guys. Thank you for watching. I see you next time. Bam.